violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Hey, bro, that's my chair. Please get another one. And you chose to deal with it.
I'm gonna tell you this. Bro,
I'm gonna tell you this.
I don't give a fuck, G. We can do whatever the fuck you wanna do, G.
So if you guys don't get what's going on here, this is a teacher. He is talking to a student, obviously, young super gremlin student, and the student has his chair. He stole his chair. Okay? And this happens a lot in the communitized schools. It really does. And this is why you can't get no classwork done, because there's a student arguing with the teacher for 20, 30 minutes. Look, I've been in these CP classes, okay? I know what it is, right? So I understand how this goes. There are students who pick on the teachers, students who bully the teachers. And a lot of times, the student is a lot bigger than the teacher. If this got physical, that student would drag this teacher straight up. So when it comes to men, there's always a threat of violence. And even these women nowadays, they be throwing bows on teachers too, right? Remember we did the video on the slap a teacher challenge, and that sister, the super gremlin female, slapped the teacher and got charged with an assault. Safe to say she didn't graduate or get her GED. But there are elements in these schools where these kids do not respect authority, and it really shows and plays out in real life on the streets. So make sure you guys are paying attention, because this is why you can't learn nothing in some of these schools.
I swear to God, this is not what you want to do with me, bro. This is not what you want, G.
Why are you mad because some chicks got to fight in the bathroom?
I'm not even worried about no
Dude,
shit.
everybody calm down. Calm down. All I wanted was to tell you.
And you see the guy who's filming it, another student, there, he's laughing. Everybody thinks it's funny. This is what I never understood. Like, I used to be in these classes, and I'm just like, it would usually be like electives or additives, because I had to transfer schools in high school. So some of the credits transfer differently. So you got to make up some classes. And every time you get stuck in a CP class, it's 30 minutes of this. The teacher fighting just to get time to run the class. And obviously this is a computer class. Everybody got screens in front of their faces. Okay. So most people aren't paying attention anyways. I know when I was in computer class, I wasn't paying attention. I was doing my thing on the computer. But this is too far. You got this little boy cursing. His mama probably be cursing while he at the crib. It's all bad.
Please, sir, I have requisited my chair. All you had to do is get another chair.
Bro, you literally, when we came in, you was sitting in that chair on the jump, G.
I had my feet in that chair.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Bro, don't mark me after you. Bro, if you mark me after, bro, I'm coming back down with you.
And you're going to do what?
Bro, I swear to God, fool.
And you're going to do
I'm
what?
going to bring every fucking principal down here to get on your ass for marking me after, and I'm sitting in this class.
You weren't in the class in the chair that I asked you to be
Bro,
in. You're absent.
More deadly crime nightlife in Atlanta as we head into the weekend. Now, one person is dead this morning. This happening at pregame bar on MLK Drive. Atlanta.
MLK, the likely culprit. I mean, can y'all let MLK rest in peace? Let's just change the street signs to something different. Please. Because MLK, MLK, man, he got blood on his hands at this point. Cause it's too many people dying on his streets. And it's crazy, but it's kind of the norm.
And police telling us they believe an argument escalated to gunfire. Police found one person dead inside the building. 3 other people were shot and taken to the hospital. No word yet on their conditions or the identity of the victim. This morning's deadly shooting following at least 5 different shootings in just the last week, happening at or near clubs and restaurants in Atlanta.
The Blue Flame Lounge in Northwest Atlanta, now the target of at least one city council member who wants to revoke its liquor license and shut it down, accusing the club of having a notorious reputation for repeated violent crimes.
They're trying to shut down the Blue Flame. And if y'all have never been to the Blue Flame, it's hood, man. It's hood. You know, they sometimes they'll do like those little rap competitions there in the early night, and then some celebrities will go there. A lot of strippers frequent there. So it's a hood joint.
The most recent crime here, Wednesday, January 26th. A young man shot to death outside after an argument inside. Now Atlanta police announcing they've just identified a suspect, but he's on the run. 25-year-old Dedrick Howard. No photo of him from police yet.
Dedrick Howard. Y'all want to give me an ID on Dedrick? I'm going to go on a limb and say that's a super gremlin.
Just in the past week, there have been at least 5 shootings at or near Atlanta clubs and restaurants. January 22nd in Buckhead, a man and woman shot and wounded. Police say the man had been arguing with another man. This man, police believe this is the man who opened fire on the couple, and he's on the run now.
Oh, wow. It looks like that's a burrito gremlin, honestly. But he could be a light-skinned super gremlin. Who knows? But I mean, the nightlife in Atlanta it's dangerous, man. And y'all gotta really make sure that if you're going to certain joints, you are not you're not in a place where it's just hella folks getting crazy lit, arguing, where a lot of twerking goes on. Usually gunfire follows. It's sad. But gunfire is following the twerking now. You might be getting a dance, and then next thing you know, the club is getting shot up. How do I know? Because I've been in the club when the club got shot up. It is what it is, man. You never know, bruh. You never know. But this is happening more frequently in Atlanta. I'm trying to get the word out. Either you hear it or you don't. But this is what these schools are producing.
Police looking for him and for the people who, from this video, apparently know him.
Damn.
January 23rd. Outside Local Luna in Northeast Atlanta, someone opened fire. People ran for their lives. One person wounded. At this same spot in October, a man was shot and killed. January 25th.
And Local Luna got their lease revoked. So they're done. Shut down. Closed.
Chic Restaurant and Lounge in downtown Atlanta. Someone shot at least 15 rounds outside. No one wounded. January 28th, outside a club in Midtown Atlanta. A man and woman shot multiple times after police say he had argued with another man inside the club.
Wow. It's going down. Atlanta is officially on demon time.
Last year, the city of Atlanta enacted an ordinance to revoke the liquor licenses of clubs where repeat violent crimes make them a public nuisance. That's why a council member wants to revoke the Blue Flame Lounge liquor license. We obtained Atlanta police records for the past 2 years. For example, there were 4 people shot here. We're working to reach the management of the business for comment. Police asking the public for tips to help capture the homicide suspect as the city begins to flex its liquor license muscle to try to shut down businesses where the nightlife can be a life and death risk for customers. In Atlanta.
And these are going to be predominantly Super Gremlin and Burrito Gremlin clubs, so don't be surprised if activists start speaking out and saying that it's racist, that they're revoking liquor license of predominantly black and brown bars and clubs. No, it's because, unfortunately, y'all don't know how to act.
John Shurik, 11 Alive News.
Tonight, 3 people indicted, accused of setting fire to the Wendy's restaurant where 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks was shot and killed by Atlanta police.
Take a look for yourself. The indictment says these 3 were there and helped burn the building to the ground.
So we got 2 Super Gremlins and a glider gremlin. She looks rough. She looked rough. That's that rider. That's that rider glider gremlin right there. Like, she is down for the cause. Okay. And these dudes they probably done smutted her out all types of ways. But hey, she part of the gang now, so it is what it is.
This happened back in June of 2020. CBS 46's Crystal Bowie is live with the Atlanta Police Department headquarters with these new developments. Crystal.
Alan and Sean, that Wendy's has been demolished and has since been long gone. The protesters set it on fire as an act of protest and rebellion. Back in June of 2020, Rayshard Brooks is sleeping in his car at the Wendy's on University Avenue Southwest in Atlanta.
Are they serious? That's how they're going to depict. No, he was in the drive-thru at Wendy's, drunk as a skunk, fell asleep in his car while the car is still idling. Somebody helped him pull over. The police came through, helped him pull over, whatever. And then we all know what happened next.
Atlanta police are called to the fast food restaurant where...
So you see, he turned the taser on the officer. That was not smart. That was not smart. I mean, I don't get what these super gremlins expect from their actions. But that ain't it.
A confrontation ensues. Body camera video.
And when you watch the whole arrest, these officers were very patient with old Rayshard Brooks.
Shows Brooks hitting an officer and grabbing the officer's taser. Brooks is shot and killed by police. The night after, rioters set the Wendy's on fire. Armed protesters moved into the area and set up roadblocks and barricades to make it difficult for police to get into the neighborhood. Now, according to the indictment from the Fulton County District's office, 35-year-old John Wesley Wade, 31-year-old Natalie Hanna White, and
Natalie Hanna White. Boy, shorty came straight to the hood and it was OV. What is she doing here?
24-year-old Chisom Kingston are charged with the offense of arson in the first degree, 2 counts, and conspiracy to commit arson in the first degree. The Fulton County DA's office released a statement saying in part, quote, "We recognize and will protect the right to protest. We cannot, however, tolerate violence like arson, even if done in the name of protest." And on the list of those charged with arson, reportedly White knew Brooks before he died. Reporting live in Atlanta tonight, Crystal Bowie, CBS 46 News.
The Wendy's on University Avenue, burning to the ground, live on social media. From the first small flames to the end, witnesses were unknowingly already helping arson investigators by posting on social media.
I mean, they came out here, started protesting. You can't draw a crowd. They didn't even have a crowd drawn like this for baby Grayson Matthew, who got shot while he was with his mama in the car by the two super gremlins. You cannot draw a crowd for any of these people who are killed in Atlanta. But you got these folks out here for Rayshard Brooks, who had previous child endangerment charges and a whole slew of other criminal history. It's like, bro, he walked himself into his own fate.
Video after video of potential suspects.
Look at a white girl trying to burn down a Wendy.
And soon after, police arrested 3 people. Now all 3 have been indicted by a Fulton County grand jury on arson charges. Natalie White, John Wade, and Chisom Kingston.
Video shows you not only Natalie, but the scores of other people that were involved.
That's Natalie White's attorney, Drew Findling, back in June of 2020, insisting White was part of the protest but did not help set the fire. Protesters angry about a confrontation in the Wendy's parking lot the night before between a white Atlanta police officer.
Bruh, just take the L. Just take the L. Notice how they only want to mention the race when it's a situation where it's police on Super Gremlin.
And a black DUI suspect, Rayshard Brooks, that ended with the officer shooting and killing Brooks. As it turns out, moments before the shooting, a police body cam recorded Brooks mentioning Natalie White.
Natalie White, she's my girlfriend.
White's attorney, Findling, said no. White was just a good friend and not an arsonist protesting Brooks' death. Now the grand jury indictment says all 3 worked together, conspired with each other. Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis telling us she recognizes the right to protest, but will not tolerate violence like arson endangering lives. Investigators said from the beginning they expected to make more arrests. These are the only 3 suspects arrested and now indicted so far. In Atlanta, John Schierick, 11 Alive News.
Coming June will mark 2 years since someone set a Metro Atlanta fast food restaurant on fire during a summer protest. That protest coming just hours after an Atlanta police officer shot and killed Rayshard Brooks in the restaurant's parking lot. Brooks had fallen asleep in his car while in the drive-thru. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Wendy with us live in Southwest Atlanta tonight. Mark, you've learned of new indictments handed down today in the arson case.
And there is virtually nothing left standing of the Wendy's now, but what happened here continues to have impact, this time in the form of a new indictment from Fulton County.
I think this indictment is particularly important. It sends a message that we are a community that supports protesting. We certainly know that is one of your constitutional rights, but what we do not tolerate is violent protest. It is unacceptable to burn down a building.
Violent protest? See, it's not a protest anymore once it becomes violent. Then it becomes a riot. Anarchy. So, you know, I don't know, even when they seemingly are following through with holding these people accountable, they still have, it's like they're still giving them the benefit of the doubt and still softballing the conversation.
In our community, even in the name of a protest.
Close to a year and a half after a conflagration at the epicenter of a controversy that rocked Metro Atlanta, Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis went on our video to talk about the new arson indictment. But she says video, mostly from social media, was pivotal in building the case.
I'm very proud of the law enforcement agencies. They spent lots of time scouring over thousands of hours, literally, of video to make sure that they had the right people in this case.
The DA said,
well, I mean, at least she's praising law enforcement for catching these guys. I mean, what can you do, man? Whenever you see them talking the right way, trying to hold these people accountable at least. You got to give credit where credit is due. Now, hopefully, they follow through with the prosecutions and make sure that they set an example for anybody else who would think about burning down a beloved Wendy's at that, man. Like, why Wendy's? Wendy's had nothing to do with it. They really didn't. It makes no sense.
As John Wesley Wade, Natalie Hanna White, and Chisom Kingston have been indicted for the arson fire that destroyed the Wendy's restaurant outside of which the controversial police shooting of Rayshard Brooks took place in 2020. The indictment lists 2 counts of arson in the first degree and a count of conspiracy to commit arson in the first degree.
Each of these 3 people took an active role in destroying this Wendy's.
High-profile defense attorney Drew Findling says he represents Natalie Hanna White and she is unequivocally not guilty of the charges and she has no relationship to...
Notice how... Notice how the attorney, or the only person who has the attorney, is the glider gremlin. And she's throwing all those other dudes under the bus. She's throwing all them other dudes under the bus. Talking about she ain't got no relation to Rayshard or them other dudes.
High-profile defense attorney Drew Findling says he represents Natalie Hanna White and she is unequivocally not guilty of the charges and she has no relationship to the other 2 co-defendants. He says video footage is actually helpful to her defense.
I was with John Wade from 7 a.m. all day, the day of the Wendy's fire.
We went to check out an address we found for John Wesley Wade and met Sharon O'Donnell.
He absolutely did not do it.
You were here when he was arrested in 2020 in the Wendy's case.
Yeah, I was asleep.
And Travis Morris.
He definitely said he didn't do it.
This investigation
He say he didn't do it. Come on.
was very difficult at first. It was difficult for the personnel with the Atlanta Fire Department, the Atlanta Police Department, to gain access to the crime scene on June 13th, 2020, due to the volume of people that were present that evening. But they were nevertheless able to persevere.
Deputy DA Michael Sprinkle also cited the assistance of the community and said the ATF was a valuable assistance. So the third defendant, I reached a person by phone who gave me the impression he was Chisom Kingston. He indicated he would call back, but had to speak to his attorney. Now, the DA's office confirms the John Wesley Wade in the Wendy's arson case is the same person we found in federal court records as having pled guilty to conspiracy. Looks like it was a conspiracy to destroy by fire vehicles connected to the U.S. Postal Service. Reporting live, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.